Hi guys, welcome to the Utah International Film Festival. This year we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be interviewing all the different filmmakers that are able to attend the festival here in studio. And it only is fitting that the person who is our first interview today, also won last year at our festival, has been here many times and have won many awards from our festival. It's Marlon Gonz. Marlon, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm honored to be your first guest on this crazy thing that we're doing.
It is crazy, and this is a great place to do it. It's the first time we've ever been here. This is the Experience Event Center in Provo, and we really wanted to do something a little bit different. We wanted to make this more of, again, an experience. Yesterday we had directors labs and actors labs, and we have table reads, and we've got a lot of interactive things happening throughout the thing. But you're not just a filmmaker. You've had to work in other festivals too. You've had, like, Zion's International Film Festival. You've been a part of that for a while. I believe you've also been a part of Sundance as well. So from a filmmaker's perspective, seeing both ends of this process, what are some of the takeaways that you could share about being a filmmaker and being on the back end side of the festivals?
Yeah, so I've gained a lot of appreciation for events like these because it allows us to have a platform for us independent filmmakers, a platform that we normally aren't able to have just as an independent distributor. I'm able to appreciate the technical side of everything. I'm still doing Sundance. I'm still actively doing Zion's. It's an honor to witness just the evolution of these two events, including this event as well, just because I've been doing this for a very long time. I think the biggest thing that I learned from each and every single one of these events, including this one, is just how close and how beautiful it is to be a part of an industry, to be a part of a community, and to actually meet people that you would have never met if it wasn't for something like this. Like I said before, because of the Utah International Film Festival, I was able to meet the crew that I currently work with, whom I plan to work with until something happens. But just the networking thing is something that I didn't necessarily understand when I was younger, how important it is to network. But it is so crucial in terms of the creative process and just your growth as a filmmaker. You need a collaboration. You need collaborators. You need somebody to grow with. I'm almost saying it like as if it's a relationship, but it is a relationship.
Kind of is, yeah.
And so those are my takeaways from each and every single one of these events.
I love that because I agree, and it's almost like I hear a lot. It's like a family reunion every time you come to a festival, and it doesn't matter which one it is, right? It could be the one up in Park City, the one in Provo. I guess the two now in Provo, well, up in Salt Lake, or anywhere around the world. It is a chance to get back into the community and see your friends again and reconnect and see how everyone's been. Because sometimes we lose touch, with life, and it's just how it is. Speaking of life. Your film, A Convincing Illusion, is about one of those moments in life that are, well, I'm going to go ahead and let you explain it, but it's one of those struggling moments.
It's a film that I made when I was 19, and I didn't revisit it until this last year. It's funny how when you write a story, well, when I was writing this story, I did not know what the film truly was about. So it was edited in a way that was so different from the version that we have right now. And I think after we tried to release it, we definitely took a break from it. And me and my collaborators, we just took a break and started to actually live life and experience things. And so the idea of A Convincing Illusion, it's essentially about a man who gets diagnosed with HIV weeks before he's about to get married. And so basically the film talks about this dilemma with this couple and how they navigate through the situation. And essentially the story is about Bella, who's portrayed by Stacey Wilk. And she's just in this dilemma that is conflicting. She's deciding whether or not she wants to stay with this person or not. And I dealt with something not literal, but like something similar in terms of like relationships. And it took that experience for me to realize, okay, I think I understand what this story is about, and I need to release this in some way, in some form. But in order for me to do that, I need to make essentially a completely new film with what we've got, which we've got a lot of material, because essentially it was a feature. And yeah, we did. And we learned a lot from that editing session. Essentially, I think we have about 80 versions of this film. The last one was the one that was the most relatable. It's crazy how manifestation works in a way where you write something and it just happens to happen in your life. This was definitely one of the cases where it happened to me and I needed to express it. And I'm glad that we had something already there from the drafts that we were able to just release it and have it premiere in less than an hour.
So you really did end up making a brand new movie based off of life experiences. I don't know a lot of filmmakers that are able to come back to something once they've already shot it and really be able to look at it with a critical eye and say, I've become more, I've evolved, and now my story's evolved along with me. I think that's really interesting.
I think it's important as filmmakers because we're always advocating that you should always be creating, you should always be writing, and that is very much true. You should always be in this creative mode. But at the same time, you should also be outside of the desk and living your life and exploring the beauty and the ugliness of humanity. Because that way, when you go back to your desk, you actually have substances and you actually have something to write about. That's why whenever I finish a film, I usually take a very long break because I'm able to just learn a lot of things about my life and about myself. And it also creates this anticipation for me to be eager to come back because I understand how incredibly time-consuming this industry is and incredibly draining at times. And so it's good to have boundaries, it's good to have these balances. And if it wasn't for these balances, I wouldn't have made a convincing illusion. So.
Now, when we talk about always creating, always writing, how do you do that when you are swamped with things going on? Again, you're involved with multiple festivals, you just have life to live, right? So how do you find that balance between being able to create and have that, and also, you know, having to face the harsh realities of, you know, payments come due every month all the time, and quite frankly, 2024 wasn't a great financial year production-wise. So how, as an artist, how do you find that balance?
You create it because the opportunities doesn't always present itself. You have to, for a moment, 2023 was arguably one of the worst years of my life financially, mentally, and emotionally. And I had to take a break from everything, and I almost went broke for a second. That was incredibly difficult. Luckily, the opportunity that Sundance kind of was knocking on my door, eager for me to work for them, and I was blessed to have that opportunity and still have that opportunity. But now that things are getting a lot more busier, you just create those timeouts, those moments where I'm like, okay, I think I've worked a lot. I'm able to take a little bit of break for myself to get into this creative mindset, because sometimes, at least for me, because I know everybody's different, it's usually in those moments of chaos where my creativity increases instead of decreasing. But of course, it's the time, right? We have to have time to create, we have to have time to do stuff, and so you just make it, because the opportunity might not present itself. And this is different towards everybody. I'm just talking from my personal experience. But yeah, you work really hard until you don't have to. That's the thing.
And it might be a few years, guys. It might be a few years till you're there, but you know, it's kind of like that promise is like, you know, the more you work, you know, the more likely you are to succeed. You know, it's never a promise that you'll reach whatever that version of success is for you
Yeah.
as a filmmaker. But sometimes it is the journey, honestly. Like even making a convincing illusion, what it sounds like that's that journey itself evolved you as an artist. It evolved you as a person. It evolved you as a way to tell the story in a way that is what we're seeing today.
I'm so excited for people to see this film. I don't think anybody has seen this version of this film because we screened it at a film festival early in the year, and that was a bit longer than the version that we're screening tonight. But I love this version that we have, and I think it's so perfect for this environment, for this film festival. We were talking about growth and evolution. I think I've been in this film festival since I was a kid, and it's incredible to see the amount of growth that just I've seen in terms of storytelling and in terms of accessibility and how we're able to accept so many new topics and new perspectives, and it's incredible to see that manifest itself in this film festival, which is why I feel like this film is very suited for something like this. Because before there wasn't an audience for this, and there wasn't necessarily a film festival that would screen something like this, just because we were living in a very different time, understandably so. And so I'm so grateful to be living in this time and to be here tonight. It is a true honor.
Well, honor's ours. I'm glad you're back again, my friend. It's always a pleasure to have you. I'd love to have this be a staple. The question is, are you working on something again that we can expect to see coming out next year? Or is life just too busy?
You know, it's been 3 years since I haven't been on a film set, and so I think, well, like by choice, by choice.
Okay.
Yeah, just because after I made Wolverine, I needed that break. I really did, and after this, yes, I plan to make a new film, but I'm taking my time with it.
Good.
Which is, yes, but yes, there is a new film coming.
Wonderful.
As to when it'll come out.
Well, when it's ready, I'd love to see it.
I'm excited for you guys to see it. I love this film.
Excellent. Guys, we have some more wonderful filmmaker interviews coming up here at the Utah Film Festival. It's happening all week long. Keep watching.